Niners fans, it's about that time. Sunday night, y'all know what time it is. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. 49er Faithful. How is everyone doing on a Sunday night? Hopefully, everyone had a great week leading up to today. How's everyone doing out there? It's been a while since I went live. I know the season is over, but this is an exciting time for all 32 teams. Who will the 49ers bring in through free agency? Who will be able to sign our free agents, specifically, DJ Jones, Lincoln Tomlinson? Who are we going to draft? So it will be an exciting time. March 16th is the date for free agency. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And speaking of free agency, I have a question for you guys for the faithful, the Niner Empire, right off the back. Speaking of free agents, obviously we have two big names who will be hitting the free agent market. DJ Jones, I mean, what can I say about the guy? He was a 6th-round draft pick, and he was he was drafted in John Lynch's first draft with the team in 2017, a 6th-round draft pick. He's worked his tail off, DJ Jones, that is, and he's about to sign a multi-contract extension, whether it be with the 49ers or whether it be with another team. DJ Jones, no doubt, he's earned every penny. Hopefully, we can keep him in red and gold for years to come. We also have Lincoln Tomlinson. Lincoln Tomlinson, did you guys notice? Lincoln Tomlinson was a 1st-round draft pick by the Detroit Lions, I believe in 2015. And John Lynch and the 49ers traded for him. And I don't believe Lincoln Tomlinson has missed a start in his career with the 49ers. So the past 4 seasons, I think he might have missed 1 start. But Lincoln Tomlinson, he's been an Iron Man at that left guard position next to Trent Williams. And hopefully we can bring Lincoln Tomlinson back. Hopefully we can sign him to a multi-year contract extension. But hopefully we can get both guys. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping we could bring DJ Jones and Lincoln Tomlinson back. But I have a question for the faithful. Who do you think is least likely to return for the 49ers, DJ Jones or Lincoln Tomlinson? Both players are looking for a huge increase in their pay. I think DJ Jones made under $5 million last year. It was probably around $2 to $4 million, somewhere between there. And Lincoln Tomlinson only made about $5 million. So I could easily see Lincoln Tomlinson camp wanting to double his salary right off the top, bare minimum. But if he wants upwards of 11 or 12 million, I would be surprised if the 49ers pay that. But we'll see. And DJ Jones, I think he could definitely garner anywhere between 6 to 8 million, 6 to 9 million on the open market. So let me know in them comments. Who's least likely to return to the 49ers, DJ Jones or Lincoln Tomlinson? I don't know about you guys, but I do not want to start the season without Lincoln Tomlinson at that left guard spot, because this 49ers offensive line definitely has some question marks. Right tackle, you look at Mike McGlinchey, he suffered that quad injury. What the playing status of him and his career is definitely in jeopardy due to the nature of that quad injury. Who knows if he'll be the same player when he comes back. Also at right guard, we definitely want to upgrade at right guard, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'd like to bring Daniel Brunskill back, but definitely not as my starting right guard. I definitely think we need to upgrade that position. Alex Mack, he said he may retire. We'll see what happens. And then at left guard, if Lincoln Tomlinson leaves, and hey, he earned every penny he's going to get in this offseason, but he could leave, and that could leave us with possibly Aaron Banks starting at left guard. And that's not something I want to see. I don't know how you feel, Faithful, but that's definitely not something I want to see. So feel free. Who do you think will be the least likely to return to the 49ers this offseason, DJ Jones or Lincoln Thompson? And shout out to everyone watching Jay and the Bay Facebook, Jay and the Bay YouTube, and Jay and the Bay Twitter. Huge shout out to that good old Spotlight Sports Network, whoever's watching on their YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. But let's say what's up to the people in them comments. Let's see who we got in here tonight. on a Sunday night. We got T in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream, T. Hopefully your Sunday night is going well. Thanks for tuning in, though. We have Bang Bang Niner Gang in the building. What's good? He says, gang up in this thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in to the stream, T. I think this is the first time I've seen you on my live stream. Thanks for tuning in. You guys feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Let YouTube and I know that you guys are enjoying the stream, and also hit that subscribe button. So that way you know, that way you can hit that subscribe button and you'll hear the latest 49ers news and content like this, live streams. David, what's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream, David. How is your Sunday night going? David says, what's good, Jay? We need more salary cap space. I would take an 8th round pick and a warm beer for Jimmy G just for some cap space. That's pretty funny. Well, I can guarantee you this. We're going to get much more compensation than a day 3 pick for Jimmy G. I can bet you that. It's all about supply and demand. That's definitely something that we'll talk about later on in the show about Jimmy G and his value. But after it, let's say if Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson stay with their respective teams, who's the next best quarterback that's available? I guess now you would say Carson Wentz, because the Colts, I think they're going to either cut or trade Carson Wentz. And I don't know how many people feel about Carson Wentz. Who's better? Would you rather have Carson Wentz or Jimmy G? I mean, Carson Wentz, he's a little more mobile, but Carson Wentz, he leaves a lot to be desired. Some would say the same about Jimmy G. But back to that first question I asked, after Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, I feel Jimmy G is probably the next best quarterback on the market available via trade. And there are definitely quarterback needy teams this year going into the offseason. And the NFL draft is not like last year where we had a ton of rookie quarterbacks get drafted in the first round. I think we had 5, right? I think there's 5 quarterbacks drafted in the first round last year. That's definitely not going to happen this year. You can believe that. That's not going to happen this year. There may be 1, maybe 2 go in the first round this year. So we're definitely going to be able to get some major compensation for Jimmy G. I mean, who wouldn't want a career winning quarterback? He's been to the NFC Championship game twice in the last 3 years. I think teams would value that, David. I think so. We got Romello Bell in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream, man. Hopefully your Sunday night is going well, man. What do you guys think? Who do you think it will be less likely to return to the 49ers this offseason? The 2 biggest free agents, I think, in-house are DJ Jones and Laken Tomlinson. Both deserved an increase in their salary. Both deserve long-term security with their next contract extensions. They both earned it. Hopefully we can bring both back. Laken Tomlinson, it may not be as likely for Laken Tomlinson. The reason I say that is because he deserves a pay raise where he can get more than maybe 10 to 12, maybe $13 million a year. He's an Iron Man. He's only missed 1 game. I think he only gave up 1 sack this entire year. Hate to lose him, but there's no doubt he deserves a pay raise and long-term security. So, and I say Laken Tomlinson is because we drafted Aaron Banks. I mean, he's got to start. He's a 2nd-round pick. Also, there's Jalen Moore. Not saying he has to start, but that's another player that we drafted. Daniel Brunskill, I won't be surprised if he comes back. Daniel Brunskill, he's not great for, I would say, extended periods of time, but he's a utility guy. He's a versatile player. He can play every position on the offensive line, you name it, center, guard, and tackle. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brunskill stays, Brunskill stays, but hopefully he's not our starter. And I would have to say about DJ Jones, I know Javon Kinlaw, hey, 1st-round draft pick, he's got to play. And I think Armstead is best used inside on the defensive line instead of outside. But hopefully we can bring back both players, DJ Jones or Laken Tomlinson. If I had to guess, I think Laken Tomlinson will probably get more on the open market, so he's least likely to return in the red and gold, but hopefully he returns. We definitely going to need to keep that offensive line in the continuity. We definitely need to keep that. We got Blue True in the building. What's good? Appreciate that $10 donation to the channel. Hot diggity dog. Blue True says, what's good, Jay? Thanks for the stream tonight. Absolutely. I appreciate everyone tuning in to the stream tonight on a Sunday night. Man, this was the first Sunday without football. And, of course, love spending time with the family. But outside of that, this Sunday is kind of miserable. I don't know how you guys feel, but, man, I definitely missing football, that's for sure. But, hey, I'm looking forward to the offseason. And it's a season in itself, and there's a lot going on. We got Philly Sports Talk Podcast in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream. Hopefully all is well in the Philly area. We got Niner Faithful in the house. What's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream, Niner Faithful. He says, sadly, I think Lincoln is gone because I can see a team like the Bengals overpaying to get him. Hey, you bring up a great point, Niner Faithful. Great point. And I say that because with Mike McDaniel, our former offensive coordinator, taking the head coaching job with the Miami Dolphins, he's going to pluck some players to South Beach. Make no mistake about it. He's already got John Embry, the former associate head coach and tight end coach. He already brought over the former wide receiver coach for the 49ers, Wes Welker. And the Miami Dolphins, I believe they're one of the top 5 teams that have the most salary going into the offseason. So I think they have upwards of $40 to $50 million that they can dish out to incoming free agents. Hey, Miami could pluck Lincoln Thomas away, and maybe they could also pluck away Raheem Mostert. I know Raheem Mostert had all of his success as a running back with the 49ers, but let's be real. Raheem Mostert, he's nearing the age of 30, or he might already be 30, not 100% sure, but he's nearing that. And he doesn't have that many contracts left. And I would love to bring Raheem Mostert back, but if Miami offered him more money, I can't fault him for taking it, man. That's for sure. So hopefully Lincoln will return, and I would never ask a player to take less money to stay with the Niners. I know this is a brutal game, and you got to make the most money you can and then get out. So, I don't blame Lincoln if he left for more money, but that just leaves an opportunity for someone else like a Aaron Banks to step up in that position, or maybe we draft. I think even if Lincoln returns, I still think we need to draft another center to take place of Alex Mack when Alex Mack retires, whether it's this year or next year. I think, we need to draft a center to work with Trey Lance for the next 10 years. So just like Peyton Manning had his center in Jeff Saturday, we need to get a center for Trey Lance. I think the 49ers need to prioritize that position, the center position, in this year's draft. And hopefully we see that. Hopefully we'll see. We got Damian Lee in the building. What's good? Damian Lee says, I wish injury-prone players wouldn't come back. I thought Trent Baalke era was over. Which injury-prone player are you talking about, man? Or maybe you're talking about Raheem Mostert, maybe Jason Verrett. Damian Lee, the 49ers love to bargain shop. That's what, we love to do. We don't spend a ton of money on free agency. I mean, I know we traded for D Ford and that didn't work out due to injuries. And we traded or I think we signed Quan Alexander. That didn't really work out. So when the 49ers have spent a lot of money in free agency, it hasn't really worked out. I'm trying to think, who else did we sign? Richard Sherman, that worked out. There's no doubt he was a leader, but that wasn't even like big money. That wasn't huge money. I just think the 49ers are going to draft players. And even if we get a first round draft pick, I wouldn't be surprised if we traded down in the draft to get more picks because there are, I think, a lot of areas on this team that need to be addressed. I think let's start off on the defensive side of the ball. I think we need another safety. I think we should definitely get another corner. I would say an edge rusher. We'll definitely talk about that later in the show. And edge rusher, because Arden Key is a free agent. Jordan Willis is a free agent. Charles Omenwehu, think he's back with us this year. I think he has one more year left on his deal, but I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers, draft a edge rusher or sign, a veteran free agent. Because Arden Key, hey man, Arden Key had the best year of his career. He had 6.5 sacks. Arden Key really came on at the end of the season. He had his best games, and also Samson as well. Samson, I think the first half of the year he kind of struggled, but he really made the most of his opportunity later on in the season. I say the back half of the season, but I wouldn't be surprised. This team, we've seen it already. This team led under John Lynch and Shanahan. They value defensive linemen. They don't really value the cornerback position. We had a chance to pick up Asante Samuel Jr. in the second round. He was right there, and we decided to trade down and draft Aaron Banks. Hopefully that works out. But we've seen it time and time again. This team prioritizes the defensive lineman with Nick Bosa, Armstead, Buckner, Javon Kinlaw. So we've seen it, and I think they'll do that again in the first or second round, whatever draft pick we have. Whether it's our first 2 picks, one of those picks I think will be an edge rusher. That's for sure. And speaking of players that we need to, or positions we need to add depth to. Offense, I think we definitely should probably get a tackle, because Mike McGlinchey, who knows if he comes back this year and healthy, and I don't think we'll sign him long term. So we're going to need someone to fill in that void. Of course, center. I think we definitely need a center, a young center in the draft. I would say tight end. I think we need more depth behind Kittle. I think maybe another playmaker behind Kittle, and that would be a position that would help Trey out in the long run. I think that would be great. You can't go wrong drafting a running back, right? I mean, this team, our running backs get hurt all the time, and I wouldn't be surprised if this team drafts a running back day 3, just like we did last year with Elijah Mitchell. David says, I think we lose both DJ Jones and Laken Tomlinson to teams that will overpay for them. It pains me to say it, and that's a great point. I don't think we should ever overplay for players, but man, that would suck if we lost DJ Jones and Laken Tomlinson. DJ Jones, obviously we drafted him in the 2017 draft, homegrown player. He's really made the most out of his opportunity, and he was great this year, and he's been pretty good the last few years. So those both guys they've earned every penny they'll get, but I think if we lose Lincoln, that would be tough, because our offensive line is in flux. There's a lot of uncertainty along this offensive line, and why would you want to put a young, inexperienced offensive line, behind Trey Lance or in front of Trey Lance? I know you got Trent, you got Mack, but at that left guard, right guard, and then right tackle, there is uncertainty. And I know for sure you want to get better than Brunskill at right guard, and we're unsure about the right tackle, McGlinchey. So, we'll see. But the next man has to step up, and I'm sure if we lose both of those guys in free agency, we'll have contingency plans. That's for sure. But I appreciate that comment, David. Let's see. I think we got a super chat. Hot diggity dog. What's good, Jack? He says, hey, Jay in the Bay, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well on a Sunday night. He says, we have to keep Tomlinson. He is so steady and is always in the lineup. DJ Jones stops the run. Tough call. It is a tough call because, both guys have earned lucrative contract extensions based on their play. And it all depends what the 49ers want to spend. Should the 49ers spend 12 to 13, maybe 14 million on a guard? Because if that's what Tomlinson can get in the open market, I don't know if that's a wise idea, to do that, to keep Tomlinson, even though he is great. He's an Iron Man, but I don't know if that's a wise idea. DJ Jones, he's been great as well. Should we pay a defensive tackle, $7-9 million per year? We're already going to have to re-sign Bosa. We know he's going to break the bank. We're already paying Kinlaw. We're already paying Armstead. So we'll see. And D Ford contract is still on the books as well. So hopefully, but I'm thinking hopefully maybe Armstead will restructure his contract. That's what I'm hoping for. Also, maybe if I've heard that Jimmy Ward, he might sign a long-term contract extension, maybe add a year or two, so that way his salary cap for this year will be significantly less. There's all types of ways you can finagle the salary cap. Look at the LA Rams; they do it every year. So, so hopefully the Niners can hopefully we don't lose Bo. For me, I would, if I could only have one guy, Lincoln or DJ Jones. For me, it'd be Lincoln because I want a formidable front for Trey Lance. This offseason is all about Trey Lance, the development. Excuse me. This year is all about the development of Trey Lance in the offseason, and we still need to continue to build to put pieces around Trey Lance so that way he'll be successful. I don't want a leaky offensive line. I don't know about y'all, faithful, but I do not want a leaky offensive line. With Trey Lance, we definitely cannot have that. We got to set up this young man, this young bull for success. Definitely have to do that. Hot diggity dog. 49ers first takes. What's good? Appreciate that donation, man. How was your Sunday night going? He says, much love and support for you, Jay. Keep being a positive light on 49ers YouTube and keep growing your channel, man. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the kind words, man. I appreciate you, man. Hopefully all is well for you on a Sunday night, man. Appreciate 49ers first takes. And 49ers first takes, I know you guys know him. He's got a YouTube channel, talks, of course, about the Niners. Make sure you check him out. But I'm sure you guys already know about first takes, 49ers first takes. Let's see. We also have Let's Get It GA. What's good? He says, blessings, my brother. Same to you and the entire 49er family. Great season, y'all. Appreciate that. Let's Get It GA. Payo time. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Payo. He says, hey, Jay, football withdrawal is real, hitting hard this year. Yeah, man. And, congrats again to your LA Rams, man. They were the better team in the playoffs, and it showed in the Super Bowl. And, yeah, man, it's tough without football for sure. But obviously spending time with family and a YouTuber, the content really doesn't stop. It slows down due to the offseason. So that's why part of me, the offseason is still exciting. But, yeah, there's no doubt. I'm definitely missing football, Payo. We got Douglas Lewis Brooks in the building. What's good? He is a Dallas Cowboys fan. Man, thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Hopefully all is well for you, man. Payo Time says, if you were captured by bad guys, what 49ers player would you want to be captured with to plan and perform your escape? Wow. I love your questions, Payo. They are always different and interesting. Wow. So let's see. That's a great question. Man, that's a great question. I would probably say George Kittle because he's kind of crazy. He kind of lives on the edge, or maybe Deebo Samuel. Maybe one of those two guys. I think Deebo or Kittle. I would want them to be with me so we could have a plan to escape, man. Payo Time says, I feel like Bosa, that wouldn't be a bad choice either, man. That wouldn't be a bad choice either. Manuel Martinez, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. How is your Sunday night going? David answers Payo Time's question. He also says Deebo Samuel. So, yeah, I was saying either Kittle or Deebo Samuel. Payo Time, he says, do you want the 49ers to be the Rams home opener next season? Absolutely. I'll definitely be down for that. We'll go down to Levi South and take on the LA Rams in their home opener where they will have their Super Bowl rings and all that stuff, all that ceremony. Definitely. I would definitely love to see you guys, the first game of the year. You guys start the season off 0-1. Hey, I'm down with that, man. Definitely down with that. Niner faithful, I'm watching the NBA All-Star game, man. Yeah, man, that's on right now, man. And let me know how it's going, man. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the other festivities, but hopefully all is well, man. SG Sports Talk, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Hopefully all is well. Welcome to the channel, man. Hopefully you're doing well. He says, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well, man. Appreciate the kind words, SG Sports. And yeah, for those that haven't answered the question, who is less likely to return to the 49ers, DJ Jones or Laken Tomlinson? Let me know in them comments. We have John in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Yeah, I mean, it's already happening. And for those that are just tuning in, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you also subscribe if you haven't. Shout out to everyone watching on the Spotlight Sports Network YouTube and also Jay and the Bay YouTube as well. And yeah, Mike McDaniel, he is taking not only coaches, he already took John Embry, former associate head coach and former tight end coach, and also took Wes Welker from the 49ers. So, head coaches, they want to be around people who they're familiar with, who already know their system. And River Craycraft, no doubt, knows the 49ers system. So, no surprise. And I think there might have been, was there another player to go to the Dolphins who used to be with the Niners? I'm not sure. But I guarantee you, River Craycraft, he won't be the last one. You won't be the last one, that's for sure. Frank Gore, Hall of Famer. No doubt Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer. Probably, well, statistically, the best 49ers running back ever. But I know some people would say, I'm not even gonna say, but I know some people would say some other 49er running backs who are definitely great in their time as well. But definitely Frank Gore, he should be a no doubt Hall of Famer. I think he should be first ballot, no question. Niner Faithful says, other than us fixing the secondary and O-line, we need to draft a good punt/kick returner in the draft. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And hopefully that is a priority. Hopefully it's someone who could do both. Hopefully it's a corner who can also punt return and kick return as well. I know that, what's his name? The running back and wide receiver, I guess the other wide back for the Atlanta Falcons, Cordarrelle Patterson. I think he's a free agent. He can do it all. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball. Special teams, that would be nice if we could sign him because he will be a free agent this year. So keep an eye out for Cordarrelle Patterson. Niner Faithful says, or we can get the guy from the Bears. He's like 5'8", but he's a good returner. Hey, what's his name? So we'll definitely keep an eye on him. Let's see. Damian Lee says, I agree. Center should be a top choice to groom with Alex Mack. 100. Absolutely, man. We absolutely definitely need to get a young center to pair up with Mack, teach him the ropes. And I think that's a must. That's definitely a must. Getting into the latest 49er news, you guys should know by now, but if you don't, Brian Fleury has been elevated to the tight ends coach for the 49ers. He was one of the offensive quality control coaches last year with the Niners. And it's interesting because when you look at Fleury's coaching history, he's really only coached the defensive side of the ball prior to last year. So we'll see. Maybe Brian Fleury is a jack of all trades. Maybe he can do it all. And, we'll see what he'll bring to the tight end room because I know Charlie Warner, he's solid. Of course, we know Kittle's an all-pro player, but I think we definitely need some more talent in that area. And maybe Fleury can help in that area. Maybe he can bring something different that John Embry didn't. But, hey, we'll see. The Romelia Sports Report, what's good? Thanks for tuning into the stream, man. Hopefully all is well for you on a Sunday and Pale Time, and the rest of football fans all around the world feel the same way as you do, man. It's weird without football. But hey, this is the off season, and I can't wait for March 16th when free agency period starts. That's what I'm waiting for. We got Dan Castillo, DDC in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Cook Smoke Sports. What's good? He says, what's up, bro? Go Niners. Absolutely. And he also says, bang, bang. You know it. SG Sports, thoughts on Steph Curry. Hey, greatest shooter of all time, man. Greatest shooter of all time. It'll be interesting to see what the Dubs do in the playoffs this year. John, he's got a trade. So he says if the Washington football team or the Washington Commanders trade their 11th overall for Jimmy, you might have a chance at getting a number one center, Tyler Linderbaum. Either way, I'd go offensive line or defensive line. And that'll be very interesting. We know that the Washington Commanders, they do need to upgrade at the quarterback position. The Washington Commanders, they do have a pretty good defense. They got a good running game. They got good weapons. They're just lacking a quarterback. And hey, I don't put it past the Washington team to trade for Jimmy G, whether it be a first round pick, because you think Ron Rivera wouldn't want a Jimmy G, especially after the quarterbacks that have played under Ron Rivera in Washington. What was it? You had Heineke. I think Fitzmagic was there as well. And I think was Rivera there when Haskins was there? I think Rivera was there when Dwayne Haskins was there, I think. But there's no doubt Jimmy G would be the best quarterback that has played in a Washington uniform under Ron Rivera. And I'm sure Ron Rivera would love to have a Jimmy G, a steady veteran, a good leader in the locker room. He's been successful, especially the 2 years he's been healthy. He's gone to 2 NFC championship games and 1 Super Bowl in the last 3 years. I mean, what head coach wouldn't want that? So I think that's definitely worthy of a first round pick. And Washington has a good running game. They have weapons on the outside at the wide receiver position, and they got a pretty good tight end. So I know the fans, don't think highly of Jimmy G, but hey, organizations, they think highly of a guy who's a good leader, especially in the locker room, has the respect of his guys, and he can make plays. He's not a top 10 upper echelon quarterback, but he can make plays. Niner Faithful says, if we sign Gronk or get David and Njoku and run that 2 tight end set with Kittle, good luck to the defense. It's going to be pick your poison. Yeah, you can't double both guys. And then also you got Debo and D.I. show on the outside numbers. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think hopefully we continue to add weapons around Trey Lance, because we only have I think the only receivers we have that are coming back are Debo and Ayuk. I believe every other receiver is a free agent. Hopefully we bring back Juwan Jennings. I think he flourished last year in that third wide receiver spot. It was good to see he got some shine, and he was really productive the back half of the season. I think there's no doubt we bring him back. But other than that, I think Mohamed Sanu, I don't think he'll be back. Trent Sherfield, I would like to have back. I think he's a solid special team player. And hopefully with Trey Lance, hopefully he'll be able to be more productive with Trey Lance in under center. So I would like to have Trent Sherfield back. I think Mohamed Sanu, I mentioned Mohamed Sanu. I think he should be cut. And I'm trying to think of the other wide receivers. I think and River Craycraft, he's gone. I think that might be it. So there's going to be some new wide receivers in, and I wouldn't be surprised if we draft one maybe on day 3. Juwan Jennings, he was a 7th round pick. So, hey, you never know. And Niner Faithful says, especially with Trey running the show. Exactly, man. Exactly. We got J Taco for life. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Jag says, too many questions at offensive line with McGlinchey, Moore, and Banks. I know, Jag. I mean, do we really want to go into an off season and with an inexperienced Jalen Moore and Aaron Banks? I know Jalen Moore played some snaps last year, but I would much rather have a veteran presence with Lincoln Tomlinson at that left guard spot, lining up next to Trent Williams. I would much rather have that. I know Banks, they're saying that he's probably better suited at left guard compared to right guard, and I think that could be even more of a reason that we let Lincoln Tomlinson walk. And it's not like, I don't think the Niners would give him a disrespectful offer, but they have a number for that left guard spot that will coincide with the salary cap, that will not make us go over the salary cap. They can only offer Lincoln so much. And I know other teams like Cincinnati and Miami, they could probably offer him maybe even double if they needed to shore up their offensive line. So 49ers have made investments in their offensive line, and I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that they might exercise those options and let Lincoln walk. Or maybe they only offer Lincoln, I don't know, $9 or $10 million a year, but another team could offer him 13 or 14 mil. So, and I don't blame Lincoln at all for taking that, but there's definitely question marks on our offensive line, and you got to add Alex Mack. No, we're not sure if he's going to come back. We got Livy's World in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Livy's World. Hopefully you had a excellent weekend. I know it was probably a tough weekend, Livy's World, because this was the first weekend without football. So, but make sure you keep your head up. Hang in there. Douglas Lewis Brooks, I appreciate you for tuning in to the stream, man. He says finally caught up with you. LOL. He represents also that good old Spotlight Sports Network, man. Shout out to you and the whole Spotlight Sports Network crew. Appreciate you for tuning in. Niner Faithful says all is well, and the game is kind of boring. Oh, he's talking about the All-Star game. Other than Steph making half-court shots and the other players making 360 dunks, I can dig it. Yeah, if the game is close in the fourth quarter, I'm sure they will. They'll play good defense and it'll be a much more competitive game, I'm sure. Another piece of news for the 49ers, and it is about another coach on our coaching staff. So 49ers senior defensive assistant James Bechter, he accepts the linebacking coach job with the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's another coach who has left. So far, Mike McDaniels left, John Embry left, Wes Welker left. I think we had two offensive lineman coaches, assistant offensive lineman coaches leave. James Bechter leaves. So that's 7 guys who have left the coaching staff. So, and we still haven't hired. We don't know if Anthony Lynn will be elevated to the offensive coordinator position. I mean, I guess it really, we know Shanahan's going to run the plays. We know he's going to call the plays. We know he's going to script the plays. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but we know that Shanahan is still the top dog when it comes to the offensive play calling. We already know that. But we still haven't signed a offensive coordinator, wide receiver coach. And I think we need one more. I think I'm missing one more. But there are definitely holes in this coaching staff. And it'd be interesting to see who else the 49ers add to the staff. But that is one less coach that we have. Also, I saw this over the weekend. The 49ers have offered the wide receiver coaching position to former NFL wide receiver Leonard Hankerson. Now, Hankerson played with the Falcons. He played with the Washington football team, and Shanahan was there. So there is familiarity there with Leonard Hankerson and Kyle Shanahan. But we haven't heard yet if Leonard Hankerson has accepted the promotion to be the wide receiver coach. Last year, Hankerson was with the 49ers, and he was the offensive quality control coach. Before that, he was a wide receivers coach at 2 different colleges. So definitely he's an experienced guy. He's played in the NFL, and he's coached the position as well. So, hey, I'd be intrigued to see what he can bring to the table. And we'll see, I would assume, in the next 24, 48 hours if he accepts that position. But that's the latest 49er news. Let's continue on with these comments. Let's see. Dan Castillo, I wonder if John and Kyle are trying to work out something with Tom Brady in Tampa. The talks are getting really high again, like someone knows something. Well, I think Mike Florio had a comment where he basically said it's basically a done deal. Mike Florio said that Tom Brady would start week 1 for the 49ers. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll say this. I am selfish. I want to see Trey Lance be the starter week 1. But, I mean, if we were able to get Tom Brady, and I know there was this, Tom Brady holds a grudge against the Niners because we didn't sign him 2 years ago, and Tom Brady and Kyle Shanahan, they had a meeting, and I guess there was some friction there. So, hey, I think you got to at least kick the tires on TB12 because he's only one of the most successful. No, he's the most successful quarterback ever. So, I mean, you got to at least kick the tires, but there's no doubt I want to see Trey Lance week 1 start, but you can't blame the Niners if they at least look into TB12. Romello, he gives us his opinion on TB12 possibly coming to the Niners. He says no Tom Brady. He says no Tom Brady. Trey is the starter. All right. Hey, I respect it. Niner Faithful says his name is Jakeem Grant, returning from the Bears. Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, he's a pretty good receiver, and he can also play special teams. So yeah, hey, if the price is right, I think we'll definitely do that. We got 49ers fan 21 in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. And if you guys are new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you guys are enjoying the content on a Sunday night, make sure you hit that like button as well. Let's see. Yeah, Steph Curry looks like he's balling in the NBA All-Star game, man. No surprise there. Jag says, what is the outlook for Jalen Moore and Aaron Banks? I think in a best case scenario, I think Aaron Banks will start. I would hope that he would start at right guard, because that would mean we brought back Lincoln Tomlinson in free agency, and Lincoln Tomlinson will be with the organization for years to come. But if Lincoln Tomlinson walks, then I think Aaron Banks, he steps into that left guard spot. It seems like he's more comfortable at that left guard spot compared to right guard. And I know some people think, oh, well, left guard or right guard, what's the difference? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, but someone compared it to, and some players, they can pick it up. Some players, they play left tackle through college. Hey, they go to the NFL, they go to right tackle, and they're just fine. And other players struggle. But someone, made the comparison, well, if you're right-handed all your life and all of a sudden you try to write left-handed, it could be similar to that. I don't know if it's to that extreme, but we'll see. And Jalen Moore, I mean, he's played, I think he played tackle in college, but during the season, I believe he did play right tackle for a little bit, and Mike Compton basically was the better player. So Mike Compton started at right tackle. So hopefully Jalen Moore can start at right tackle next year. So hopefully McGlinchey comes back. He's healthy. He plays well. We let McGlinchey walk, and then Jalen Moore is the right tackle of the future. So for the future, hopefully it's Jalen Moore at right tackle. At right guard, I think hopefully we draft someone else, because I don't know about you guys. I don't want Brunskill to be my right guard of the future. Hopefully we draft a center. He will be the center of the future. At left guard, you'll have Banks, and then at left tackle, you got Trent Williams. So I think we're definitely going to have some more young players come into this offensive line, whether it be through the draft or free agency. But hopefully we get a center in the draft. We'll see, man. We'll see. Hey, I completely agree with you, SG. Completely agree with you, man. David says, no Tom Brady, no Karen Rodgers. We drafted Trey Lance with the 3rd overall pick for a reason. Considering the next 2 drafts seem to be scarce of quarterbacks, we struck at the right time. Now, I agree with your last sentiment, but I mean, it's Tom Brady, man. I mean, I of course want to see Trey as well, but I mean, it's not like we're keeping Jimmy for another year and saying, "Oh no, Trey, you can sit and watch again." I mean, this is Tom Brady. I mean, I think you have to see. I mean, Tom Brady, he's still pretty good. I think he had like 43 TDs, 12 INTs last year with the Bucs. I mean, he's still playing at an all-time level, and there's no way. Let's just say this: if Tom Brady comes to the Niners, he'll put up numbers that I don't think Trey Lance will. And it's no knock on Trey Lance. It's just that Tom Brady's that great. But I'm with you. I want to see Trey. But if the Niners went out and got TB12, I can't be mad. I can't. It's not like I can't understand why they would do that. I can definitely understand why. But I appreciate your comments, David. We got Biz Niner Gang. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. You do the same as well. Keep up the content on your YouTube channel as well, man. Keep doing big things. We got Redder for the Steelers fan in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in, man. How is your Sunday night going? Let's see. Biz Niner Gang, have you heard any rumors on signing a right tackle? Well, Mike McGlinchey is the right tackle. You know, we drafted Mike McGlinchey, 1st round pick, and he suffered a calf injury this year. Or no, I think it was a quad tear injury. And it's the type of injury that I guess a lot of players aren't their normal selves after they recover from the injury. So we'll see how Mike McGlinchey is in training camp. I know Tom Compton is a free agent. I won't be surprised, though, if the Niners bring him back, because he's familiar with Shanahan and he knows the system. And, I don't want Tom Compton to be my future right tackle, but in a pinch, we need a right tackle. Tom Compton is suitable. He's decent. But yeah, I think best case scenario, Mike McGlinchey comes back, he's healthy, and he plays out next year, and he's healthy because this is a contract year for McGlinchey. So I anticipate Mike McGlinchey will be the starting right tackle, unless he's unable to recover from that injury. We got Dick Tracy in the building. What's good? Dick Tracy is dying on that hill of Trey Lance ain't it. and I don't agree with Dick Tracy. I think it's way too early to tell. But he says Montana knows Lance ain't it. I mean, do you really think Montana watches the games? Do you think Montana watches the film? I don't know. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. There's no doubt Trey Lance has all the tools you need. Obviously, he needs to work on his release. It needs to be a much quicker release. But he's got all the intangibles you'd want in a starting quarterback. He's got all the weapons around him. We just need to make sure we have a good offensive line for him. I know he can maneuver in and out the pocket definitely more than Jimmy can, but we still need to have a pretty good foundation at the offensive line. Games are won and lost in the trenches. Just look at the Rams and Bengals. They couldn't protect Burrow, and look what happened to him. So we don't want that same thing to happen to Trey Lance. Jag, man, hot diggity dog. Appreciate your kind words. Appreciate that donation. He says, gotta go, but you and your family stay blessed. Always feel better after I listen to your show. Appreciate that, man. Jag, he says, I appreciate your hard work and commitment. Go Niners. 100, man. All day, every day, man. Appreciate you for tuning in to the stream, Jag. You have a great rest of your night. And I appreciate everyone tuning in to the stream tonight, man. We had a lively chat. I'm going to continue on with these comments. I will talk about Jimmy G and his value very shortly, but I just want to make sure I see all the comments. Let's see. Romello, please don't listen to Dick Tracy. I don't know what's wrong with him, but something's wrong with him. He needs to get off our site. Hey, man, that's his opinion. And I know Trey Lance will prove him wrong. And it'll be interesting to see what Dick Tracy says. Let's say week 8 of the season. And we'll see what Dick Tracy has to say about Trey Lance. But hey, DT, he's entitled to his opinion. Redder, please don't sign J.C. Jackson. I want him on the Steelers. I don't think the Niners will sign a big ticket cornerback. It's just not a position they value. The 49ers have made additions to the cornerback room, specifically the cornerback room in drafting Demo Lenore, in drafting Ambry Thomas. We drafted Hufanga. I won't be surprised if we get another cornerback. And hopefully we bring back Jason Verrett. I would be open to bringing back Verrett on a 1-year minimum prove-it deal. He's not going to get big money on the open market due to his injury history. But just let him know he's not going to be the starter. He's going to have to – maybe he could be the 4th corner, and maybe he could be very, very useful if Mosley or the projected starter Ambry Thomas get hurt. So I think that's where Verrett could be a solid player. But we'll see how he recovers from that torn ACL. Let's see. We got Biz says, please don't. Oh, no. Biz says, no offense to Montana, he's GOAT, but how you figure he knows? That's what I'm saying. Like, no one really knows. We just know that we need to get rid of Jimmy G. We appreciate what Jimmy G has done for this team, but it's time to go. Trey Lance is the man for the job. DT says the entire quarterback draft class of 2021 are busts. I think you're definitely trolling. That's for sure. Niner Faithful says Pat Willis for LB coach. Calling it now. Hey, I don't even know if he's open to coaching. I was hearing Ken Norton Jr. He was a coach under Kyle Shanahan. He had a cup of coffee with the team. I know Ken Norton Jr. has been a defensive coordinator with the Seahawks, with the Raiders. Hey, I'll be open to that, but I don't know if Pat Willis is even really into coaching. But I did hear rumors maybe Ken Norton Jr. He's available and he could be a linebacker coach. Let's see. He says, did I lie about Montana? No, you didn't. Biz says, you acting as if Lance ain't it and no one knows anything but the insiders of the 49ers coaching. And that's correct. They see him every day. Let's see. Big Trey says Trey couldn't beat out an injured mediocre quarterback. Think about it. Man, I think it's definitely too early to tell on Trey Lance. And I think Kyle Shanahan was going to ride Jimmy till the wheels fell off. Kyle Shanahan said that, hey, if we would have lost, I think we were on a 4-game losing streak. And if we would have lost to the LA Rams, Trey Lance probably would have started the rest of the year because the playoffs were less and less likely. But hey, this team rolled with Jimmy G, and there's a reason. We got to the NFC Championship game. We should have won that game. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Jimmy G and the Niners could have been in their second Super Bowl, 2 times out of 3 years, but unfortunately it didn't come to fruition. But man, Jimmy G, he was the man for the job this year. And there's no excuses next year with Trey Lance at quarterback, and the clock is ticking absolutely on Kyle Shanahan. That's for sure. Jack says, who would you replace DJ Jones' ability to disrupt the run game? Can we count on Kinlaw to come back healthy? If he does that, would be a huge boost. That's the guy. If the Niners, the Niners have DJ Jones slotted at a certain cap number, and if that number exceeds and DJ Jones is able to get a higher deal from an outside team, I think the 49ers will be comfortable with DJ Jones leaving. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, but you got to hope that Javon Kinlaw comes back healthy and he's the guy that can be the disruptor. I don't know if that's a wise idea to really put all your eggs in one basket with Kinlaw because he has been hurt. But I think Kinlaw and Armstead inside, I think that is pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if we draft another defensive tackle just in case we can't re-sign DJ Jones. Trying to think. I think we do have some other free agents on our defensive line. For some reason, my mind is blanking right now on our defensive tackle depth chart. But let's see. So Kevin Gibbons, I think he could definitely step in. Kevin Gibbons was definitely a solid defensive tackle for us. He's definitely good against the run. And I think that's about it. I think we would have to address the defensive tackle position in the draft, or maybe get like a 1-year veteran if we can't bring back DJ Jones, because you don't want to have Kinlaw, starting every snap. You need to spell Kinlaw, that's for sure. But so maybe Kevin Gibbons can do that. And also maybe we should get a defensive tackle in the draft. I agree with you, Biz. I think the plan was pretty clear. That's why you keep an expensive veteran quarterback. You keep him because you anticipate that he'll start, and Jimmy G was the starter. That's there's no doubt about that. Redder says Lance hasn't had any playing time, so how can he be a bust? I completely agree with you, man. Niner Faithful says, I want to see Trey play, but if Brady still wants to come to the Bay, I don't want to be the teams that passes on him 3 times. Yeah, I mean, I totally understand the fans who say, no, I want Trey Lance. I totally get that, but it's hard to, it's Tom Brady. He's the most successful quarterback ever. How can, and it's not like he's declining, right? He's still playing at a high level, 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Can Shanahan and Tom Brady, can they work together? Can they have a healthy relationship? Because, they were supposedly Tom Brady questioned Kyle Shanahan about his system in the interview, and Shanahan didn't like that. You got 2 guys, massive egos. It's not about really can Tom Brady play. It's not about is Trey Lance ready. Can those 2 guys get along? Brady and Shanahan. But obviously, of course, I want to see Trey Lance start. I definitely want to see him start week 1. But if the Niners bring in Brady, I will definitely understand. I definitely understand. But it would suck not seeing Trey Lance. That's for sure. But Tom Brady, I'll probably give you a better chance to win. But behind what type of offensive line? If Lincoln Tomlinson leaves, Mac may retire. Like, we'll see, man. We will see. I agree with you, Biz. For those that are tuning in to the stream, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe. I go by the name of Jay intheBay. Of course, I'll talk about the faithful, the Niner Empire. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. And I will be doing live streams like this all off season long, talking about draft, free agency, anything 49er related. Feel free to hit that like button, and also feel free to subscribe. We got to talk about Jimmy G. And for those that have watched me, you know I've been a huge Jimmy G supporter. And hey, sometimes he makes great plays. A lot of times he makes bad plays, and that's why we drafted Trey Lance, and that's why we're moving on from Jimmy G, and Trey Lance is the future. But we got to talk about Jimmy G's value. And for those that don't live in California, you may not understand this, but in California right now, we are having a car shortage. If you go to car lots in the Bay Area, you won't see a lot of cars on the lot. Why? Because we're having a car shortage. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the cars that are on the lot, their value is significantly higher than if there would be 200 cars on the lot. Right now, there are about 50 cars on the lot, right? When you go into that dealership to buy that car, the prices of that car will be significantly increased because there's not a lot of new cars available. And it's kind of like Jimmy G, the quarterback position. If Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers stay with their respective teams, which I would say Aaron Rodgers is probably more likely to stay than Russell is. But if those two stay, the next best quarterback on the market is Jimmy Garoppolo. I know some people would say Carson Wentz, and that's debatable. But Jimmy G, no doubt, has been the more successful quarterback, and teams want Jimmy G. You know, fan bases may not want Jimmy G, but there's no doubt front offices, head coaches want Jimmy G. Why? Why do you say? Well, he's got a career-winning record. He's been to 2 NFC championships, 1 Super Bowl in the last 3 years. What team wouldn't want that? And there are a lot of quarterback-needy teams in going into this offseason. And it's kind of a perfect storm for the Niners. Obviously, last year you had 5 quarterbacks go in the first round. That's not going to happen this year. And teams want to upgrade their quarterback position. You think the Washington football team doesn't want to upgrade from Taylor Heineke? You think the New York Giants don't want to upgrade from Daniel Jones? The Saints don't have a quarterback. The Buccaneers don't have a quarterback. I'm sure the Broncos want to upgrade from Teddy Bridgewater. So, hey, the Houston Texans, they may want to trade for Jimmy. Who knows? But there's at least 5 teams who would want to trade for Jimmy G. And I know he may not be worth a first-round pick on the open market if there were if every quarterback was available, right? Like, obviously, he wouldn't be worth that. But with the limited talent coming out of the draft this year, that increases Jimmy G's value. With the amount of quarterback-needy teams that are going into the offseason, increases Jimmy G's value. And Jimmy G, when healthy, hey, he gives your team a chance to win. And sometimes the other team too. He throws interceptions. But there's no doubt, man. There's no doubt. Jimmy G, he may not be worth the first round pick, but teams will be if the teams get into a bidding war for Jimmy, which I know sounds crazy, right? Hey, teams could offer a first round pick or maybe multiple day 2 picks, you know? So the possibilities are endless. I can't wait to see what Jimmy G goes for on the open market, because I think there will be several teams. Oh, I didn't even mention the Pittsburgh Steelers. They could be, they want to upgrade their quarterback position with the retirement of Big Ben. I don't think they're waiting on Dwayne Haskins. That's for sure. So Jimmy G's value is determined supply and demand. The supply of starting quarterbacks in the NFL, very low. The demand is very high. Jimmy G's price tag just went up, especially if Russell Wilson stays with Seattle, Aaron Rodgers stays with Green Bay. Jimmy G's price tag, I could easily see a first round pick. There's no doubt about that. What do you guys feel on my thoughts about Jimmy G's value? Feel free to let me know in them comments. Let's get to the comments. Let's see. David says to Dick Tracy, Shanahan said Jimmy G was the starter and there was not going to be a quarterback competition before training camp started. All right. And let's see. And Dick Tracy, Warner did yell at Lance in practice. And the reason he did that, Lance would only go through his first read or his first progression, and then he would run, right? And Lance would do this when he's the scout team quarterback. Now, the scout team quarterback, what they need to do is emulate the opposing team's offense that the Niners defense will play the upcoming week, right? So if the Niners are playing against, I don't know, if the Niners are playing against a team, let's just say the Buccaneers with Tom Brady, they're playing a team that has a non-mobile quarterback, it doesn't help the defense to in practice to run around and things like that, because that's not what the Buccaneers do, right? So that's why Fred Warner yelled at Lance in practice. But I think it's good. It's constructive criticism. And Fred Warner did say that Lance played a lot better once he actually stopped running around a lot, went through his progressions, and that helped the defense out. So just give him some time, DT. Give him some time. Let's see. Let's continue on with these comments. Let's see. DT says, I really hope I'm wrong, but I wasn't about Kinlaw. The book is still out on Kinlaw. Solly, no one expected Solly to really win with the New York Giants first year. McGlinchey, I think he's solid. He's solid, but with the other names, I can't really dispute on that. Niner Faithful says, I hope Trey just ignores Joe because I would be surprised if he has PTSD. That's a great point from the Steve Young contract. And if Joe Montana doesn't really watch the games, he doesn't watch the film, he's probably thinking about the time when, he got pushed out for a younger quarterback, Steve Young, right? So that's why Joe Montana would say what he said, because, he's thinking of the same situation that he was in, where the Niners, pushed him out and went with a young up-and-coming quarterback. So I'm sure he feels the same way, that, stick with Jimmy until you find someone. But respect you, Joe, but I'm going to trust in Shanahan and Lynch. That's what I'll say. Let's see. I agree with you, Biz. I agree with you, man. I agree. Let's see. We got Andy Smith in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. He says DJ is fast. Okay. I'm not sure. You talking about DJ Jones? Well, yeah, for his position, there's no doubt. No doubt he's fast. I Take My Coffee Black podcast. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. DT, he says, DT, get off my guy Jay live with that hate. Man, it's too. You can't lie, DT. It's too early to tell if Trey Lance is ready or not. We will find out, though, in the offseason. I'm looking forward to you accompanying or you watching my streams and other 49er streams. We will see next year. We'll see if you have the same takes. We got Niner Sickness podcast in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Niner Sickness. And for those of you that don't know, check out Niner Sickness podcast. Congratulations on reaching that 1,000 subscribers, man. Keep doing good things on your channel, man. Looking forward to what you do in the off season. I Take My Coffee Black says we're going to be mad good next year. I agree, man. I completely agree. So DT gives his prediction for the 49ers record. He says the Niners will go 5-12. Biz says, by the way, I'm speaking toward Dick Tracy in the comments. Oh, yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Let's see. Let's continue on with these comments. Oh, Niner Sickness says Deshaun Watson is going to be available. That's that's interesting. We'll see with Deshaun Watson. That's that is a quarterback option, but we'll see what happens with his his legal stuff. We'll see. But if he's acquitted of all charges and he doesn't face any jail time, I don't see why the NFL would suspend him if he's acquitted of everything, but I don't know. That's a huge if. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Biz says, I agree with you 100%, Jay, man. I appreciate the kind words, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. I agree with you on that one, DT. I agree. I take my coffee. Trey is going to be a good one. Not worried. Agreed. I think we just need to make sure we continue to add weapons around him. I mean, I know Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle, and then we got the running backs, Mitchell. We definitely have weapons, but that offensive line, we got to make sure that that's ready to compete. Well, we can't let that be a weakness because we don't need Trey running around all over the place and he has no time in the pocket. So definitely can't have that. Let's see. We got Niner Gang podcast in the building. What's good? Niner Gang says, not me. Goodbye and good riddance to Jimmy Trey area. Hey, man. I agree with you, man. Hey, Jimmy had his time with the 49ers. I appreciate his time with the team. He accomplished a lot. I mean, because before Jimmy G and after Cap left, there were definitely some dark years with the team. And when Jimmy came over here, he was breath of fresh air. He made this team relevant again. He was part of the reason this team became relevant again. But we clearly want better at the quarterback position, and that's why we drafted Trey Lance. So I take my coffee. Jimmy has intangibles, leadership, quick release, but overall talent, no, he's not it. I agree. But I think a team that is a quarterback away, and, all these offensive coordinators around the league, they all think, hey, if I can get that quarterback or that wide receiver or that running back, I can make them the best in my system. That's what a lot of offensive coordinators think. And I'm sure there are teams around the league that say, hey, I can take Jimmy G and I'll make him better than Kyle Shanahan did. So I'm sure there are teams like that. And that's why I won't be shocked if we can fetch a first-round pick for Jimmy or multiple picks, So let's see. David, he says only real fans support whoever is starting. Hey, I would tend to agree with that. I definitely agree with constructive criticism. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, when number 10 was under center, of course we criticized him, but of course we want him to do well. No one's rooting for number 10 to not do well. So DT, fake Niner fans will turn on Lance just like they turned on Jimmy. Hey, every fan, there's different levels of fandom, that's for sure. And, hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion. DT says fake fans wanted Shanny fired after drop. I did hear that. I definitely was not one of them, but I definitely heard that. But, Twitter, everyone has an opinion. You can't really take what people say for Twitter as fact. But there's no doubt his seat was getting hot. That's for sure. Romello says, not like the biz. We know what we mean, but he loves Jimmy. Let's see. Niner Sickness says, Colts want to move on from Carson Wentz so they can go after Jimmy G. Really? That would be interesting. Because I did hear that the Colts would be either cutting or trading Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, I think he's solid. Is he better than Jimmy? I mean, he did beat the 49ers. Carson Wentz did. I think Carson Wentz, actually, he beat the 49ers twice. He beat the 49ers when he was with Philly that last year, and he also beat the 49ers when he was with the Indianapolis Colts. So I'm not sure. I mean, I know the Colts definitely had aspirations of getting to the playoffs, and Carson Wentz, unfortunately, did not do that. But, I thought he had a solid year. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, man, because there's a lot of teams who could upgrade at that quarterback position. We got Key in the building in the house. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Key. Hopefully all is well in Philly. Biz says, oh, I see, LOL. That's why he's hating on Lance so bad. Oh, man. Now I know you trolling for sure. Oh, man, that's good. Biz says, I feel like Lance is going to shine after some reps. I mean, I think we're still going to run the ball. That's still going to be a huge focus of this offense. I'm hoping we bring Raheem Mostert back. I don't think he'll be the starter. I think Mitch will still get the bulk of the carries, but there's no doubt Mostert is a home run threat. when he gets his hands on the ball. He just has that next gear that Mitchell doesn't have. But Mitchell's very close. I love what Mitchell did, and I won't be surprised. We'll have Trey Sermon. Hopefully, Trey Sermon with Trey Lance. Hopefully, Trey Sermon would be able to flourish more in that type of offensive system, because Trey Sermon, he was a disappointment last year. He didn't really get opportunities, and whether it be he didn't prove it in practice, or Shanahan, we know Shanahan loves to ride the hot hand with Elijah Mitchell, and of course Deebo Samuel was getting a lot of the carries as well. So not again. We have to find the right sucker who will overpay for Jimmy. That's the main focus. Absolutely. And as I mentioned before, Niner game, there are a lot of teams who need to upgrade their quarterback position. And if it's a bidding war, and I know that sounds crazy about Jimmy G, but if there's a bidding war, man, hey, the sky is the limit. A first-round pick, maybe multiple day 2 picks. We'll see. The possibilities are endless, because after Russell Wilson and Rodgers, I think Jimmy G is the next best quarterback available. Some people could say Deshaun Watson, but who knows if he'll even be available week 1. Biz agrees with Niner gang. All right. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention the Carolina Panthers. And something that I don't understand. I know John Lynch and Jimmy G, they're on the same page. As Jimmy G said he wanted to be traded to a team that wants to win, right? But that shouldn't be. And I know Jimmy is respected in the locker room. He's a respected player in the league, but that shouldn't be the Niners. That shouldn't be the Niners' game plan, right? The Niners should try to get the most draft capital or player they can get for Jimmy. So if Carolina's offering a 4th-round pick, but the Giants are offering a 1st-round pick, obviously I would want the Niners to trade Jimmy to the Giants, right? To try to get the most draft capital they can get. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We shall see. But I think the trade for Jimmy should be happening sooner than later. I would imagine, hopefully it happens before free agency. I know the deal could materialize, but it won't be official until the new league year, which I believe is March 16th. But they should have a deal in place prior to that. We got Horacio in the building. What's good? He says, would you rather receive a player for Jimmy G or a draft pick? Well, it depends on the player. If we're able to get, let's say, Jimmy G, we trade him to Washington for, Chase Young or something like that. I know Chase Young is coming off that torn ACL, but that would be interesting to have, 2 Ohio State edge rushers, and, Chase Young is a beast coming off the edge to line him up opposite of Nick Bosa. I think that would be great. And torn ACL, a lot of players recover from that. It's not really, I know it's a long recovery for a type of injury, but we saw Nick Bosa recover well from that injury, and he had a 16 sack season. So I would definitely get a player if it's a player that is a day 1 starter, either a cornerback or edge rusher. I think that would be great. Biz says Carolina's interested in Jimmy. Hey, there'll be a lot of teams line up. DT says, I'll be here, bro. I'll own it if Lance turns out to be a miracle. And I won't gloat when I'm right. Okay. All right, man. Hey, I hope so, DT. Oh, man. Let's see. Niner Sickness says, Deshaun Watson is not facing criminal charges. He is facing civil charges, so he will not be suspended. All right. Hey, that's interesting if that's what happens. But obviously those decisions are above my pay grade, but I just feel like when there's smoke, there's fire. But hey, that he will be an interesting name if he's able to start week 1 and not get suspended. That would be very, very interesting. Niner Sickness. We got 49ers throwback in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. And this is the Jay and the Bay YouTube channel. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the channel. Thanks for tuning in to the stream, 49ers throwback. We got John. He says, if we made a run for a vet quarterback like Brady, what would we trade? apart from Jimmy, we don't have much trading capital, in my opinion. Yeah, that's a great point because Tom Brady, he's still under contract with the Buccaneers if he decided to return. And, we have a few compensatory picks from the Mike McDaniel, getting hired by the Miami Dolphins as their head coach. So we could give them a third round pick for TB12. I'd be okay with that. Blue True, appreciate that $5 super sticker. Blue True, appreciate that. Let's see, Tommy Huxley, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Tommy. He says McDonald's Jones, not a superstar, not even close to Tom Brady. The next Matt Castle. Wow, shots fired. Shots fired, man. Let's see. Tommy says the truth is Shanahan chokes big games when he has a lead. Maybe he shouldn't have a lead. I think what's happened when you look at the fourth quarter versus the Rams in the NFC Championship game, the offensive line played its worst. Debo didn't touch the ball at all in the fourth quarter, and Jimmy G didn't play his best. You need the guy who touches the ball every snap to play their best. Jimmy didn't do it. He didn't do it in the Super Bowl either. Whether you could blame Shanahan or Jimmy, you can blame either one. I know Shanahan will get most of the blame, but hopefully we won't have those excuses with Trey Lance in at quarterback. I take my coffee black podcast. Why do fans always blame the coach for the players not executing the plays or the other team making better plays? That's a great question. I notice a lot when, the other team gets paid too, right? They get paid to make plays as well. But I think, at the end of the day, the coach is responsible because they're the head of the snake. So they're going to get responsible. They're going to get blamed if the team doesn't win. Just like when we were on that 4-game losing streak, there is I would say Shanahan's seat was definitely hot going into, the game against the LA Rams. And I think the players not executing the plays, they definitely need to take some accountability. And when the other team makes plays, you got to tip your hat, but then you also need to change up your philosophy or you need to make adjustments so those same plays won't work. But, hey, the head coach, he's the highest paid player on the team. He's going to take some blame when the team doesn't play well, and he's going to get a lot of the credit when the team wins. There's no doubt about that. Look at Sean McVay. He's considered probably one of the best head coaches in the NFL. Now he's got a Super Bowl ring to prove it. Let's see. I take my coffee, says Kyle's my coach outside of Bill, Mike, Sean P, Sean M. Who would you take? For me, I'm taking Shanahan. I'm taking Shanahan over. I know Bill Belichick. How can you take Shanahan over Bill Belichick? But it's a different system. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan is more offensive centric, and Bill Belichick is on the defensive side of the ball. But I'm riding with Shanahan, man. I'm riding with Shanahan. Man, what a different game. What a different outcome if Tart would have caught that ball, man. But yeah, you definitely can't blame Jimmy or the coach for Tart's dropped INT. That's for sure. But man, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. That's kind of like that Roger Craig fumble. It's unfortunately that's going to live with Jaquiski Tart. We got Kelts Chronicles in the building. What's good? How you doing today, Kelts? Hopefully all is well, Kelts, man. Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Shout out to Kelts Chronicles. If you haven't heard of him, make sure you check out Kelts Chronicles. Of course, he talks about the faithful, the Niner Empire. Check out Kelts Chronicles, man. Doing big things on his YouTube channel, man. Keep putting out that 49ers content, man. Biz says, I agree, David. If they wear the colors, I support them. Absolutely. Niners for life. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's see. I take my coffee black says if I feel they can get a mid to late first round pick for Jimmy. Okay, I think so as well. It's not that Jimmy's necessarily worth it. But it's just because he's very valuable, and there's not a lot of quarterbacks on the open market in the offseason. I know there's concerns, question marks about Deshaun Watson. Who knows with Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson? But there's no doubt we'll be able to get either a first or maybe a day 2 draft pick. That's for sure. Let's see. I take my coffee. We're not getting Chase for Jimmy. Maybe Montez. Yeah, that would be a dream scenario. We get Chase Young, but yeah, that most likely would not happen. But if we got a player, that would be a player I would want, either an edge rusher or a top corner. That's for sure. Tommy says Kyle gets too cute when he has a lead. Keep it simple. Get it to the playmakers like McVay did. Absolutely. Very simple. Get the ball to your playmakers. Let's see. I appreciate everyone tuning into the stream tonight. Yes, I did say Chase Young for Jimmy G. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I know. But that would be like a dream scenario, that's for sure. But if we can't get a starter, then I think we should get one of the higher draft picks. So, but yeah, there's no doubt Washington most likely would not do it. They're not that gullible, right? They're not that gullible. You know it, Biz. 49ers for life, man. You know it. Let's see. Appreciate everyone tuning in to the stream tonight. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of your night. Shout out if you watched on intheBay YouTube, also the Spotlight Sports Network YouTube. Looks like Niner Sickness says, intheBay, would you trade Jimmy G and Kittle for the Steelers' 11th overall pick? No, I would not. I'm keeping Kittle. David says Tom Brady is not coming out of retirement. He wants to spend time with his kids, family first. Part of me hopes you're right. I hope you're right, so that way we can just roll with Trey in the offseason. You have a full offseason training program with the Niners, full training camp, mini camp, preseason. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, Niner Sickness. I agree, man. I think Tart will stay. I don't think the Niners will sign a free agent veteran in the offseason with the anticipation that he'll start. I'm just talking about a veteran free agent. I think Tart, he knows the system. He's not going to command a lot of money in the open market. We sign him to a 1-year deal. Maybe we'll draft a safety that can shadow Tart. I'll be willing to do that. And hell, the rookie may be able to start over Tart. We don't know. Tommy Huxley. Yeah, you're not the only one who feels that way about Tomlinson, especially if Tomlinson can get, more than 10 to 12 on the open market. We got David B in the building. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Have a great rest of your night, DT. Great rest of your night, and everyone else, have a great rest of your Sunday night. I appreciate everyone tuning in to the stream. We had a lively chat. I love the back and forth. Make sure you hit that like button on the intheBay YouTube channel for this video. Make sure you also subscribe to intheBay. I appreciate all the support. I will try to do at least one live stream during the week where we talk about the latest news for the 49ers that week. And of course, I will do videos weekly just talking about the Niners. So that's definitely what you guys can look forward to. Hayden Sports, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. I know you are thrilled about your LA Rams, man. And good luck to them in the offseason, and congratulations, man. David McNew says Greenlaw and Jimmy G to the Commanders, 11th overall and a 4th rounder. Sounds good. I wouldn't be mad at that. I know Greenlaw, he's in the last year of his contract. I believe we get a compensatory pick if he leaves in free agency next year, I believe. But Greenlaw, it's unfortunate that he only played 5 games this year. I think only 2 in the regular season. So that's unfortunate. And Aziz elevated his game, and Aziz is, basically the starter beside Fred Warner. So, but I like what Greenlaw brings to the table, but I understand why you'd want to trade Greenlaw, because you don't figure he's in your future long-term plan. So I understand it, but I would miss Greenlaw not being on the field. That's for sure. But appreciate the comments, everyone. Shout out to everyone who was in the comments, who contributed to the stream tonight. Huge shout out to Blue True. Appreciate your donation to the channel. Huge shout out to 49ers First Takes. Jag. Appreciate you guys' donations to the channel. And hey, everyone have a great start to your work week tomorrow. Go Niners. And I will see you guys in the next video. And thanks for watching your boy, Jay in the Bay. See you guys in the next one. Go Niners.